Hi students, in this video, we will review questions number 103 to 107 in the 2024 SHSAT Practice Exam. Grab a notebook and pencil and let's get started. Number 103. All 150 students in grade 8 at a school are assigned to write an essay on the same topic. A teacher recorded the number of words in a random sample of the essays as shown in the table above. Based on this sample, how many students in the entire grade would be expected to write essays with at least 100 words? Let's take a look at the table. We have number of words here, and it's split up into 4 categories. Less than 100, between 100 to 250, from 251 to 500, and greater than 500. We have 6 in the first category, then 4, then 11, then 9. The question is asking us how many students would be expected to write essays with at least 100 words. That means 100 or greater. So we are going to focus on these 3 categories: 100 to 250, 251 to 500, and greater than 500. So the probability of at least 100 words is 4 plus 11 plus 9 over the total, which is 6 plus 4 plus 11 plus 9. So the probability of getting at least 100 words is 24 divided by 30. Since the probability is 24 out of 30, we now need to figure out how much that would be out of 150 students. For every 30 students, 24 of them will write an essay with at least 100 words. So if we were looking at the entire student population, right, we would multiply 30 times 5 to get 150 and 24 times 5 to get 120. So the correct answer here is D. There will be about 120 students in the entire grade 8 class that will write an essay with at least 100 words. Number 104. Which percentage is closest in value to 0.0099? Let's start by converting the decimal into a percent. To convert a decimal into a percent, we will move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So we have 0.99%. In order to compare this percent with that which is given in our answer choices, I would prefer to line up the numbers with the same number of digits after the decimal point. So let's see. We have 0.00%, 0.10%, 1.00%, 100.00%. If you take a look, the number 99 is the closest to 100, which is right here. We would treat this as 100. This is only 0.01 away from 1.00. So the correct answer is choice G. Just a quick tip, once I add these zeros, I try to look at what the number is as if the decimal point wasn't there. So this number is 0, this number would be 10, this number is 100, and this number would be 10,000. And this number here is 99. So 99 is closest to 100. Let's head over to the next problem. Number 105. The manager of a shipping company recorded the weights in pounds of the last 9 packages the company shipped. The manager displayed the distribution of the weights in a box plot with the 5-number summary shown below. The minimum was 29, the first quartile 31, the median 42, the third quartile 73, and the maximum 98. Which statement about the distribution of weights is supported by the box plot the manager created? In order to determine if a data set has an outlier using a box and whisker plot, we will start off by calculating the interquartile range. The interquartile range is usually calculated by subtracting the first quartile from the third quartile. So that's third minus first. So in this case, that's 73 minus 31, and that gives us 42. In order to determine if a number is an outlier, we need to see if it falls outside of a certain range. This range is Q1, which is the first quartile, minus 1.5 times the interquartile range, and Q3 plus 1.5 times the interquartile range. So any number that is smaller than or greater than these numbers is going to be considered an outlier. So let's start off by calculating 1.5 times the interquartile range. That will be 42 times 1.5. 15 times 2 is 30, and 15 times 4 is 60, plus 3 is 63. So 1.5 times the interquartile range is 63. So we have 31 minus 63 and 73 plus 63. Any number that falls outside of this range is going to be considered an outlier. So the number would have to be smaller than negative 32 or larger than 136. Let's take a look. The smallest number in the data set is 29, and that is not smaller than negative 32. So 29 is definitely not an outlier. And 98 still falls within our range. To be an outlier, you would have to be greater than 136, but 98 is definitely less. So we know that the minimum is not an outlier, and the maximum is also not an outlier. And the interquartile range is 42, not 11. So C is also incorrect. So D is going to be our correct answer. It says the interquartile range and the median are equal, because we noticed that the interquartile range was 42 and the median of the entire data set is also 42. So D is our correct answer. Number 106. In the figure above, the shaded rectangle is similar to the outer rectangle. The length of the outer rectangle is 4 feet and the perimeter of the outer rectangle is 14 feet. If the width of the shaded rectangle is 2 feet, what is the area of the shaded rectangle? Let's calculate the sides of the outer rectangle. The problem tells us that the perimeter of the outer rectangle is 14 feet. We can use this information to solve the problem. We should also pay attention to the word similar. The shaded rectangle is similar to the outer rectangle, which means the sides are proportional. Let's label the sides of the rectangle. If the side at the bottom here is 4 feet, then the side at the top is also going to be 4 feet. And since the entire perimeter is 14, then each of these sides here will be 3 feet and 3 feet. Since the rectangles are similar, we can set up a proportion. 3 over 2 equals 4 over x, where x represents the length of the shaded rectangle. Let's cross multiply. 3x equals 8, therefore x equals 8/3. So the length of the shaded rectangle is 8/3 feet. The question also asks us to find the area of the shaded rectangle. Since the area of a rectangle is length times width, we will multiply 2 times 8/3. When we do so, we get 16 over 3, which is equal to 5 1/3 feet squared. So the correct answer is choice E. Number 107. A rectangular concrete driveway is 30 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 6 inches thick. What is the volume of the concrete? For this problem, we need to find the volume of a rectangular prism. Let's review the formula that we can use to find the volume of a rectangular prism. I went ahead and drew a visual here for you so you can see exactly what's going on. We have the length, the width, and the height. Let's review the volume of a rectangular prism. Volume equals length times width times height. But notice all of the answers are in cubic feet, so we want to make sure that all of the dimensions are in feet. The length is 30 feet, so that looks good, times the width, that's 8 feet. But notice we have 6 inches instead of feet. So 6 inches is going to be 1/2 of a foot. Just make sure you always convert the units so that you get the correct answer. 30 times 8 is 240 feet squared. And now we just need to multiply by 1/2 of a foot. So the volume is 120 cubic feet. The correct answer is choice C. If you learned something in this video, please go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.